You're not non-binary, you're not cis, and you're not trans. These are children with probably a crazy mother, and we'd be lucky if there's a dad in the picture at all. But this is where we're at, folks. We have women putting their children on the internet, slapping them with labels that have to do with sexuality and gender bending. It's not appropriate. It's not. I'm gay, and I find this really disturbing. You know, it's not helpful to me as a gay man. It's not helpful to the children, for helping them to become who they are. In fact, it's confusing them. It's distorting them from discovering who.
I love the fact that he called it out immediately. Hey man, you guys have gone so far. You've managed so much. We actually accepted that you're kind of normal on TV, and now they made it worse. It's like crazies keeps popping up everywhere, and somebody needs to shut this down.
Who they are. And that one child she slapped a trans label on, is that child going to be put on puberty blockers and have their sexual function destroyed, their reproductive functions stolen? These are possibilities with this ideology. It is a cult, and it is going to damage the children. It already has.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you know me, usually I never cared about politics, left, right, leading, nah, zippo. The only reason that I think most people want to watch this is because you're messing with their kids. Because they're not just projecting it, they're projecting it to their kids, and it's going lower and lower. And I'm not supposed to care, right? Cool, I'm not supposed to care. The problem is, you teach these kids this stuff, they go to school thinking it's normal, right? And once that is normal, the whole school is going to create a whole system around that kid. Would you mind sharing the process that your youngest child went through to figure out they were a different gender?
Okay, so first of all, I will say that the process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for potentially her entire life. But here's how it started. So she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18 months, didn't really know too much, just kind of was raising two kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet, and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And
you know what's interesting about this part alone? Certain kids see how you treat a woman with certain privileges that you don't usually give other men. It can change your view a lot. I know I've been through that. I know a lot of people have been through that. And I know the fact that my own kid at school noticed that too. And he asked me, why? Why do they get preference just because they're a girl? A freaking 4-year-old. Makes no sense.
And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with, her wanting to do those kinds of things.
Oh, boy.
And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick...
Of course it goes at a quicker pace. You let them do something, and that shouldn't be a reason to think your kids is going somewhere. But you let it happen. So you can't be surprised that if your kid, I don't know, eat a lot of cookies and he's fat and be like, oh, we didn't know that he's gonna get that big. What do you mean? Let them go run a little.
Pick her up from preschool. She was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry.
Nah.
And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender. And
because it's your child and they have to respect it. That's it. But surprisingly, you don't respect my opinion when I'm like, hey, you're kind of confusing my own child because, I'm not open to changes.
And play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me.
You are giving her or him, oh my God, I don't want to start there. But you're giving so much attention. The kid thinks that is the reality. A kid thinks that the world revolves around them. And there comes a point that breaks. This mommy will never break that. And in the future, she would be surprised that she has to work consistently to give that person the feeling that the world revolves around them.
I feel very attacked.
You know what I keep telling my kids? Both of them? The world ain't fair. Grow up. Let's go. Let's run. Let's go freaking outside.
Now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh.
Oh my God.
And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what? We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens.
Beta.
So he said, you know, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated t-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times.
You made it so normal for so many years. And even if you started late, the fact that you said that she would as much things possible on the body, I'm sure everybody was like, you're so beautiful. You're the most beautiful in the world. And you remove that. Now suddenly it's equality.
Surprise, mother.
He, she then feel special. That is the problem. Come on, man.
She was, you couldn't get her out the door to go play on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, okay, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath? And we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore the headband. She didn't wear the hat. She wore the headband. She wore the clothes underneath her uniform. And she would go to the game and she would stand there. And as soon as it was like game over, she would rip those clothes, you know, that uniform off and stand and proud in her tank top and her leggings.
Well, of course. Because finally everybody can see me. I got the opportunity to show everybody that I'm beautiful.
That's my opinion!
And mommy doesn't have a freaking opinion because she's gonna call me beautiful anyway. Maybe those guys there actually tease her or him, whatever you want to see it. Okay, cool, I understand your point. But it's sad, man, that we are creating a culture, removing all the rainbow stuff. We're creating a culture that it's like I want my Instagram like, and it's freaking addicting. We already have a pandemic with that mentality, which I think is the reason we have a lot of snippety-snip without the rainbow effect.
And very shortly after that, she told us she was a girl. And we believe her.
I fail to see the logic here.
Look at his mom. She wrote a post that her daughter wants to be a fireman, a fireman, a fireman. And then the mom took the daughter to a fire station. Got you there. And guess what? She was in shock. Like, oh, fire station, fireman, firewoman, just like mom, mama. That's kids. It's just a building block. But if you tell them to build something on their own, that they can be whatever they want in a world where we have a specific reality, and they're gonna hit their head consistently in that reality, and you always let them do whatever they wanna do. It's like a rich kid getting whatever he wants, and you're surprised he's not the best communicator in the community, business-wise, family-wise, or whatever. I don't know, man. It's like, I'm surprised certain people are that dumb, and at the same time, they're making a baby grow in such a dumb society, and we have to adapt around that kid. That's crazy, man. Anyway, let me know what you think, because sometimes I'm like, whew. I wonder how the world is gonna be in a few years. Because if I'm going to have to be responsible because they have a bad issue, oh man, it might be so crazy. I might sell my house and move back to a third world country because this first world country stupidity makes no sense to me. But anyway, let me know what you think.